Now, I know the crossover craze has come about somewhat from a bit of a Me Too kind of sense where everybody wants to own the same type of vehicle that they see their neighbors driving. But you think it's reached a point where it's gone too far and you can't even tell the crossovers apart anymore, Clayton?
Let me put it this way. I was driving one of these cars to pick up my girlfriend from work 3 times, and 3 times I parked in the same spot, and 3 times my girlfriend walked past the car and did not recognize it. And what moderately anonymous SUV have you brought here?
Well, we've got the Hyundai Santa Fe here, which was formerly being called the Santa Fe Sport here in Canada, and now it's just Santa Fe, but it's still the 5-seat mid-size crossover for Hyundai.
And it matches up nicely with the 2019 Honda Passport. It's new for 2019, actually, has V6 power and also has 5 seats. But what do you say we stop talking and start driving?
Okay, let's get into one of them. I'm not sure which one it is, but let's go drive.
Let's take one of them. Which one was it? The red one?
The red one?
They both have H's on the front.
All right, here we are in the 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. And like we said, it's a familiar name for the Hyundai brand, but this one is strictly a 5-seater. It can come with either a base 4-cylinder non-turbocharged engine, or what we've got right here is the 2-liter turbocharged engine.
Exactly, and that engine makes about 240 horsepower, which is actually a bit less than you'll find in the Pilot, which makes 280.
These turbocharged engines, they're all about the torque.
Yes, a lot of power down low in this thing, and actually it feels really quick and nimble around town. It has all the power when you need it.
It's definitely got plenty of guts for a vehicle this size, and it's lighter than the Pilot, so it's not carrying around
a little bit.
Quite as much weight. And it's also got a few driving modes so that you can make the steering a little bit tighter and make the throttle a little bit more responsive, which is nice if you just want to drive a little bit quicker. It helps you pick up the pace and drive more easily.
Exactly. And also, I like where we're sitting. This is a nice cabin. It's well put together, and I have a lot of visibility. I can see very well out of the vehicle. But the big thing I like about the Hyundai is that it drives like a car. It feels like a car. It shifts like a car. It doesn't feel big.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, it's still tall. It's still a crossover. It's not going to be as sporty as your average sedan, but it just drives nice. It drives naturally. It's like you turn, it goes where you want it to go. It stops fairly quickly, and it just feels under control in all of those situations. And that's about all you can ask for of a crossover. You're not shopping for some kind of a sports car.
Exactly.
One of my favorite things about this infotainment system is the home screen. So it's got multiple panels where you can still put on a little preview of the map, as well as what's on your music station, and you can have a shortcut to your phone or to Apple CarPlay.
It's a really nice choice, and I don't like that a lot of systems make you choose map or music or phone. A home screen is really nice multi-purpose. It's actually what I use most when I'm driving. It's a really smart thought. Okay, so here we are in the 2019 Honda Passport, and immediately it's a lot bigger in here. It feels bigger.
Yeah, this is based on the Honda Pilot, which is a largish mid-size 7-seater. And what I noticed looking over the specs is that this is actually a very wide vehicle. It's much wider than the Santa Fe, which
it feels like.
Yeah, it creates a lot of space sideways. So it'd be great for any parents that have 3 child seats. It'd probably be more spacious and easier to buckle 3 of those in with kids 3 across. Yeah, one of the things about a lot of Hondas is that their throttle is very slow on the uptake to help conserve fuel, and it's especially noticeable when you're in econ mode, and so that really delays acceleration.
Yeah, I found it was extremely numb. You had to kind of give it so much throttle to get going that it was abrupt. It was not a smooth way to drive because the initial 10-20% of the throttle is so lazy.
Yeah, but if you turn off econ mode, it drives a little more normally, and it's a little bit more bearable.
Exactly, a little more bearable, but it's just like, you know, it's so eager to upshift. The shifts are so mushy. It's really not, you know, a fun or inspiring drive. And I guess it doesn't really matter for this segment, but the throttle thing is really noticeable in everyday driving. It was a nuisance. And this one also has a cargo well, it's worth noting. It doesn't have two like the Hyundai, but it does have one which you can put in small backpacks or other knickknacks back there, which is pretty handy.
It's not nearly as much underfloor storage space as the Santa Fe, but it makes up for it with sheer volume. But at least the infotainment system is excellent. You don't get a preview of the map, but you do have all of your favorites that are accessible in one touch.
Yes, the infotainment system I would say is sharp, not quite as good as what you'll find in the Hyundai, but pretty good.
Okay, I think we've seen pretty much all we need to see from these two.
What do you say we go bring it back to the lot and wrap it up?
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Jonathan, these cars are very similar on paper, but as we found out in the drive, they're pretty different actually in the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. For anyone who values practicality above everything, the Passport's kind of a clear-cut winner. It's a little bit bigger, but there's a lot more cargo space and there's more passenger space in certain areas.
But if you are like, you know, a human and value things other than ultimate practicality, we gotta talk about this Hyundai.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I really like about it, starting with the interior. It's just way nicer inside.
It's just nicer, it's a cleaner design, and I like that when you're sitting in it, this is a bonus, it feels like a car. The Honda feels like a truck from behind the wheel. The Hyundai feels like a car, and it drives like a car, which I think is a bonus in this segment.
And then there's the value. It starts at under $30,000 for a base model, and it only goes up as high as $44,000, and then there's your freight and PDI, but the Passport starts at $41,000 and goes up to almost $50,000.
So it's a big value gap between them. I think altogether, the Hyundai is just a really well put together package. I like the transmission, I like the way it shifts. I think it's very practical. I like the way it looks a little less generic than the Honda. And then once you put the dollars to it, there's really no catching it.
Yep, absolutely. I think we have a clear-cut winner here in the Santa Fe. For Driving.ca, I'm Jonathan Yarconi.
And I'm Clayton Seams.
Don't forget to subscribe.